Made in Hollywood.
The musical comedy Mean Girls, starring Angauri Rice and Auli'i Cravalho, is made in Hollywood.
This movie is such a great hybrid of the 2004 movie, the Broadway show, and it's got all of its own special magic and glitter and excitement thrown into it.
Made in Hollywood.
Also on today's show, Lakeith Stanfield goes on an adventure of biblical proportions in the comedic drama, The Book of Clarence.
If anything, the movie is singular. If everything, the movie is awesome.
Plus, the action thriller The Beekeeper features Jason Statham and Josh Hutcherson. Jessica Chastain and Peter Sarsgaard have a surprise encounter in the drama Memory. And Daniel Levy writes, stars, and makes his feature film directorial debut with Good Grief. This week on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
A high school student struggles to survive the cutthroat hierarchy of her new school as Angauri Rice and Auli'i Cravalho star in the musical comedy Mean Girls.
May I have everyone's attention, please? We have a new student.
What's up, Katie?
Are you trying to make the rest of us feel dumb?
I'm not trying to, it's just happening.
Dear God, woman.
I think this movie is such a great hybrid of the 2004 movie, the Broadway show, and it's got all of its own special magic and glitter and excitement thrown into it.
Get in, loser! Get in, loser.
All of our characters are kind of this new reimagination on this like melding of the original 04 characters and the Broadway show characters, because I think those were also vastly different.
We're gonna make her pay.
Girls are made deranged by what's called hormones. WHO.
What is going on?
Don't worry about it. Dance break.
Everyone loves Mean Girls. I was born in 2000, this film came out in 2004, so like there hasn't been a time that Mean Girls hasn't been in my life, you know? Like it is iconic.
It's really hard to approach something like people have such strong feelings and opinions about, like people love so much. So it's, you know, there's a lot of pressure to live up to that in some way or another.
Action.
And I never told anyone because I am such a good friend!
Mean Girls is sacred. It's sacred text, but it's also sacred for pop culture. I don't know if pop culture has many movies where it's like, do not touch it, leave it alone. But Mean Girls is that movie.
I was just so excited, I think, to be involved in the movie. I was just like, yes, absolutely. I think maybe the intimidation came once, you know, you get delivered the script and you open it up and you're like, wow, I'm supposed to say that's so fetch.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
That is so fetch.
What is fetch?
It's like slang from an old movie.
Funny how the mean girl opened all the doors. I've been told y'all, I'm the best Gina George.
We as women have to support each other.
Yes, Tina was so incredible with offering knowledge, guidance. My casting journey actually started with an email from her and then a Zoom call with her. I think also what meant a lot is that she gave us freedom. Like I think she's such a great writer because she knows how to write great characters with great story arcs, but also she gives them to the actors.
Yeah, she's such an actor's writer.
Yeah.
And an actor's director and an actor's producer, which makes such a huge difference.
I mean, she was there every single day. She was like our little North Star angel. She's awesome. You know, don't meet your heroes isn't always true. Yeah. We met our hero and she slayed. She's amazing.
Rachel Hamilton fills her inhaler with vodka.
Oh, that's how you use it.
Slay, queens.
I was just so excited to work with Tina and work with all of you guys. I mean, just like an exceptionally talented group of people.
This is truly a new take on these classics.
Slay like no one's watching, but everybody's watching because you're gorgeous.
Coming up, Lakeith Stanfield goes on a biblical adventure in the dramatic comedy The Book of Clarence, and the action thriller The Beekeeper features Jason Statham and Josh Hutcherson. To find out where to watch any movie, check out Moviephone.com. Find it, watch it.
When I first read the script and read a bit about Derek, I was pretty surprised that I was the person that they were calling.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
Using Jesus as his inspiration, a common peddler with a sizable debt sets out to make his fortune as a new Messiah in the Book of Clarence, starring Lakeith Stanfield.
Where I'm from, you fight to survive. I'm not a bad person, just playing the cards I was dealt. Mom, one day I'm gonna get you out of here. I have a plan.
What are we doing here?
Jesus lives there.
Get ready for a singular piece. There's never been a movie made like this in 135 years of the moving image.
This film is for the open-minded, the person that is interested in gaining some new perspective or seeing something fresh.
If anything, the movie is singular. If everything, the movie is awesome.
I want to be like that in 10 years. I want to be like that now. I need to figure out what inspires him. I can just replicate what he does. Imagine the money people will give us.
You need a director like James that is so bold and clear and energetic in order to execute a film like this, because it is bold and big and energetic. There's no other way.
Oh, dead one, open your eyes. Elijah.
The things I wanted to include in this movie was everything. Absolutely everything. I wanted to include everything. Gladiator fights, chariot races, crucifixions, dance sequences, action pieces. I wanted to put everything into this film. I knew I could not make this movie until I had the right actor, which was the day I met Lakeith Stanfield.
You are guilty of the crime fraud for your own ill-gotten gains. If you give me Jesus of Nazareth, I will let you walk free. And I will give you power, wealth. You'll be somebody.
You know, like making a movie with your sibling that you know is already great at what they do too. We really fell in love with each other's personality as a brother since on The Harder They Fall. It's just so natural with James. You can't help but fall in love with him.
I die before I give him up to Rome.
Then death it is.
I just thought it was important to set Clarence up as someone that could learn something. So therefore someone that thought they had it figured out. And I knew that I wanted him to exude a confidence that gets you to positions that you want to be in life. And I wanted to show that. And I also wanted to show his moments of levity and grace so that when he fell out of grace, we could clearly see the difference.
Jesus of Nazareth.
I'm a God, so when you see me, say hallelujah.
I'm destined to be here.
Hallelujah, baby.
After his elderly friend loses everything, a loner embarks on a revenge campaign against a national corporation as Jason Statham and Josh Hutcherson star in The Beekeeper.
Mrs. Parker and I were friends. She was the only person who ever took care of me.
I just got a message saying that there's a problem with my computer.
Yes, ma'am, we got this.
When I read this script, it was this fascinating keyhole look into the world of the beekeepers. And it was kind of the right amount of just enough to know what's going on and not so much that you don't lose kind of the magic and mystery of it.
When I first read this script and read a bit about Derek, I was pretty surprised that I was the person that they were calling. It's definitely a departure for me.
This is private property. Do you know what they do here? Scamming the weakest in our society. Buddy, I'm counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. There, I did it for you.
There's a lot of really cool allegories and this very interesting mythology behind bees, and this idea of taking care of the hive and taking care of society and protecting the hive and protecting society. And Jason was the perfect person to express that mythology.
Will you stomp his ass out?
You're telling me one man did this. The only thing you know is he's a beekeeper.
Josh is a real actor, and just, I have to say it, Derek is not Josh. He's playing a role. That's not who he is in real life. He's a very nice guy. And to take this wild, crazy character with the green jackets and the snake skin and the crazy hair, and then pair him with Jeremy Irons, it's a great alchemy. It's a great relationship.
Jeremy Irons plays Wallace Westworld, and he's kind of like Derek's right-hand man, sort of. He does Derek's bidding, protects him in ways too. He's like a former CIA director, and now he's kind of been placed here to watch after me.
A beekeeper?
Well, that's not good.
Beekeepers is a special program outside the chain of command.
I protect the hive. When the system is out of balance, I correct it.
The guy's just got such a weight to him, and his voice and his presence is just really intense.
A passing will not be in vain.
But he's the nicest guy, very funny, very relaxed. But when they say action, he like turns it on and clicks it into gear.
I figured I'd give the firefighters a break.
Somebody detain this guy.
It's hard to make a movie, and it's really hard to make a good movie. You never know how these things are gonna come together. And I trusted the script, and I trusted Jason.
I think I only have one scene with Jason in the entire movie. Just watching him work, the guy, he doesn't miss. Like, he's so on top of it and consistent and professional, and the choreography that he keeps in his head, and the fact that he's able to do that and have his lines and nail his mark every time, it's just he's a fine-tuned machine. It's pretty wild.
We have to kill him before he kills his way to the top.
To find out where to watch any movie, check out MoviePhone.com. Find it, watch it. Up next, Jessica Chastain and Peter Sarsgaard star in the emotional drama Memory, and Daniel Levy writes, stars, and makes his feature film directorial debut with Good Grief.
The main reason I wanted to do it was Michelle Franco, and then when I got to know her, I just loved her.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
Here's what's hot on screen. A Chance Encounter has profound changes on the lives of two broken individuals as Jessica Chastain and Peter Sarsgaard star in the emotional drama Memory.
Anna said there was a man outside. He followed me home from the Woodbury event.
Get away from the window. You all right?
The main reason I wanted to do it was Michelle Franco, and then when I got to know her, I just loved her. This woman who experienced so much pain, who never really had anyone in her corner, and yet she works as a social worker. And even this man who follows her home, she checks to make sure he's okay. Like, she's a good human being, and I loved her for that.
Listen, I apologize if I made you feel uncomfortable the other night.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
My uncle was just such a positive person and somebody who didn't want to be trouble to anyone else, so that the symptoms of his condition were around a long time before he was diagnosed even. I don't like equating him with dementia. I like equating him with being Bubba, my uncle.
My uncle talks about you a lot. My dad and I were maybe thinking you could care for him during the day. All you'd have to do is be there and go on walks and stuff.
When I was playing it, I really felt like I was always trying to keep up with what was going on, like in a very focused way. It made me really look at other people and constantly try to remind myself of where I am in this moment.
I'm having a really hard time.
My wife and I went to a pretty early screening of Tammy, as Tammy Faye, and we were so moved that we, of course, we went and found her as she was signing autographs outside, because Jessica does sign every autograph for every fan. And I love telling an actor when I'm really moved by one of their performances. And so when I heard that she was attached to this, it was exactly what I wanted to do at that moment.
Hi, welcome back. The usual for you?
Oh, yeah.
What's the usual?
I don't know.
You know,
No.
do you remember her?
No.
Now available on your home screen. After an untimely death, three friends are forced to confront the hard truths of their lives as Daniel Levy writes, stars, and makes his feature film directorial debut with the drama Good Grief.
I've been reading that the brain is like a muscle. That's why getting over a death is so hard. Because your brain has been trained to feel things for a person.
I had experienced some loss in my life, and I was really trying to make sense of it all. When I tend to feel confused or overwhelmed, I turn to my computer and I start to write.
When they go away, your head is still operating under the impression that it should feel those things for that person, like muscle memory.
I think we'll hold off on the will for today.
I really wanted to make something about friendship where the friendship was it, where the friendship was enough. And I just wanted to make a movie that celebrated the fact that friendships should take center stage.
I was really moved by this really interesting mix of deepness, sadness, light, bittersweet, and some moments of levity as well. It was a very interesting blend.
I wanted to thank you both for this year. I would like to take us to Paris for the weekend. We all deserve some joy.
Yes, thank you. Where are we staying? I think it was important to Dan, and indeed all of us, that we sort of had a familiarity and ease with one another before we started shooting. I think we were just all open for, essentially in real life making new friends, because these are two of my pals now. So essentially it was just, you were watching us all fall in love as it happened.
It's true, it kind of is true.
Are you okay? Oliver met someone else.
I'm sorry you're having to deal with that, but I'm allowed to feel things too.
Of course, he wants to be there in this moment of crisis for Mark, but it kind of leads them down a path none of them could have predicted, and actually I think opens doors that have needed opening for a while.
It really feels like you're so close to him, very close to his emotions, their emotions. It's really intense, very intimate. I love it.
Can I ask you to have a drink with me?
We have been here for you. We built you the nest, and we sat on you for a year. It's time to hatch.
I feel very grateful to be given the opportunity to tell a story about friendship when, it's a little left of center in terms of subject matter. And now we're here. Who knew?
This is us loving you.
Stay tuned, there's more coming up on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Thanks for watching Made in Hollywood, powered by MoviePhone. For more behind-the-screen content, check out MoviePhone.com.